Hi friends, what's this Tkinter window? In this window we have an input text widget here where you can write the query and below the data will be displayed. So I'm just writing a select query, select star from student. Student is my table name and it is connected to MySQL database at the backend. So I'm just clicking. So this is a tree view actually. In this tree view, all the records are collected from student table and displayed. So all these columns headers are dynamically created, and you can see the scroll bar is also added because we have more records. Say we don't have records, then limit 0 to 5. Say only 5 records starting from first record are collecting. So based on that, because there is no scroll here, so scrolling is not there, and 5 records are also displayed. So this is how we collect the data, and we can learn our queries also using this particular format. And earlier we have discussed how this tree view is displayed dynamically. The column names are also taken. I can just change my select, say name, now then class and mark. Say these three columns only I am collecting, so I can this dynamically this output also will take those three only and leave the data. So this is how the query from the column names are also taken and the data is taken and displayed. This part we have discussed already, and this combinedly now we'll see how we'll integrate this layout, this input text box, this button. On click of this button, this particular data, all data are displayed. So this button and this vertical scroll bar to this application, we'll learn all about this. We'll start from this blank template or blank window. We can just see this is a Tkinter, and we have imported the TTK because tree view, scroll bar, all these are part of TTK, and this is the width and height of here we have declared, and our parent window is my_w, and we can just see the blank window here. 90% of this script is includes these 3 tutorials already which you have discussed. The links and the where to download the source code is also available. In the first part, we have just connected and to MySQL database and pulled the 10 records and displayed it in a tree view. So there also we have taken care to how to dynamically create the column headers. And in the second part, we have added a scroll bar because when you develop these queries, you don't know how many records are going to come. Say it may be 2 records, or it may be 20, or it may be 200 records. So a scroll bar will help us in navigating between the rows and all. So you can even go for a horizontal scroll bar also. Here we are, to keep it simple, we have just discussed about the vertical scroll bar. So you can see in the part 2 also. And note that all these links are available at the top, so you can move to the 10 records tree view, then move to the scroll bar, how we'll add a scroll bar, and the link is here, and then you can see the tree view style and backgrounds how you have configured. This is third one is optional because this is only 4 to 5 lines of code we have inserted to give a different look and feel that you can manage it also. So that's how you have add the styles and the backgrounds. We already discussed that. The link is here, and all the source codes are you can download and practice it, and we'll start from here. And most probably when this part is, we are integrating all these three and creating this application. Before adding the text box and the buttons, let me just paste 4 lines of code here. I'm just connecting to, by using this, I'm connecting to my MySQL database. Here SQL Chemie I am importing, and the error handling module, because a lot of try exit blocks, suppose any error comes from the database that we want to display, for that purpose. And the next 2 line here I am creating the connection string or connection object, what do we call it. And this I am connecting using my user ID, password and all. My database name is here. So all these details I am feeding and connecting to MySQL database. However, if you want that, I have a SQLite database, then you can just comment this line and uncomment the below line. So in this case, it will be, the script remains same throughout, and this is my path of my SQLite, because SQLite is a file based database. So this remains same and I am connected to that. Okay, we'll go back to our MySQL only. Here it is. Now let me just start Tkinter. Okay, here my Tkinter window I will start here. I will just delete this line, and now I will place my buttons and the text wizard to receive the query and the button to execute it. So let's first start with our give a font style here, font 1. This is the font which I am going to use it. So I'll say Times. This is the font family. Then font size is 14. And what should be the normal, bold or italic, whatever you want, you can write it. This style I am going for my query window. That's why I declared it here. Now next line I'll go and place the T1 or my text wizard. Because text wizard is a multi-line, so my query may contain more than one line. Otherwise, I would have used the entry box itself. So I am saying text. What is the text? I will be my parent window, my underscore w, then height. Height is I am giving 2 because 2 lines of code. And if your layout requires more, you can increase it also. Width I am giving 60 because that just for this demo purpose. This is the width we have taken. You change it whatever you want. Now slightly to make it prominent, I am given the yellow background. So you can give any background color. So now then will be say font. Use the above font whatever we have declared it here. Font 1. Change the style if you requires. So T1. Now let's place it on a grid. So this is the being the top row. So we are giving row equal to 0 and column equal to 0. And pad x, I am not flushing with the left edge, so pad x equal to 5 and pad y equal to 10. From the top I am maintaining a gap also. Right of it I will place the button. So I am giving B1 is my button. So tk dot button. Now what I am going to write it? By my parent window, my underscore w, text. You write it, execute query or whatever. I am just writing go. Because this will run the query whatever the user has entered, that will be executed. Font I am slightly giving a bigger font, 18. Then what should be my command, or what will happen when this button is clicked? Command I am giving lambda. Now this what it will do is my query. My query is the function which I have not defined yet, so I will be going to define it. Inside this function I will pass one parameter. What I will pass it is whatever the user has entered in the above T1 or the text wizard. So how will get the value of it? So I'll say T1 dot get. T1 just above we have declared it, the text wizard. Now inside that right from the beginning, so 1.0 position till end, whatever his user has entered, pass it to the my query. So that's all. This is my button part is over. But this will okay. Let me place it first on the grid. So B1 dot grid. Now in the grid row is equal to 0 in line with that above text and right of it. So there I have for the text wizard I have given column as 0. So here I am giving column equal to 1 because it has to be right of it. Nothing else I should mention because already pad x is taken care. Now this button here you can see my query is the function which will be executed once this button is clicked. Now let me just define that function. Def define my query. You give any name, okay. And here I will receive the query first. Now inside this my main code will go. So I am just passing it. So up to this, that's all. My layout is over. Then you ask me, where is your Treeview? Treeview will keep it inside this function. So we'll put it so that every time you click the button, a new Treeview will be. Otherwise, another way is declare a Treeview and change the data. In that case, our structure will remain the same. But the problem here is we don't know how many columns will come, how many rows. Okay, scroll bar will be there. So column also will change. So we will not declare the Treeview outside this function. That is the reason why we will be declaring it. So okay, let's just see how this looks. So here it is. So I can write it. This is a 2 lines. Anything I can write. Say select. Okay, I am not writing anything specific. Now once I click this, the function is executed because we have not written anything. Nothing will happen now. We'll start from our writing code inside our function. So here it is. We'll write it. First, we'll remove all the old widgets or the data whatever we have inside our function, because that way what happens, if you already one function is already data is displayed, then when the user has changed the query and click the button, one more one more data will be added to it. We don't want that. We want that old data to be replaced. So for that, we will delete all the whatever the data is displayed or the widgets are there. For w in my_w, that is my parent window. Now I am saying grid slaves. So slaves, but here I am restricting to first row only, because we don't want to delete our previously whatever the first row is our that entry text box and the button, that should remain. Next is our one row is our tree view, so that part only it should delay. If I don't give that, then entire thing will go. So for that I am saying w dot grid forget. Let me see, yeah, grid forget. So now what will happen is it will remove the data. So it is whatever is previously it's there. After that, I'll just to introduce you, I'll just paste a little bit of code here. Let me just move this. Yeah, this is a try, except and else. You must be aware of it, because whatever code I put it here, try block, that will be executed. If there is any error, then the except block will be executed, and if try is successfully executed and except is not executed, that means there is no error, then the else part will be executed. So here I will fit the code. So what I will do, I will create the execution of query here. Then in case database returns me error, I will try to display it. And in the third part, if there is no error, then I will create the tree view with the data. In our try part, we will keep our query. So record set, this is the output. Record set, this is the output what you will get it from our database. So my connection, whatever we have declared at the top, execute, and what it will execute is query, because this query is what we are receiving from here. For your easy understanding, here is our my connection. If we are connected right now to MySQL database, not SQLite. If you want SQLite, you can change that one also. The sample tables are all there. So let me just come back here. I was, so my record set is ready. You can try with writing a query here also. Say I can write it the query here, query equal to say select star from DT table. So this is the date table with the date columns and all, which will work in our next tutorial. All the dates and all will work on it. So this you can keep it and directly execute it. I'll just comment this one, because we know we'll receive the query from our whatever the user has entered. Now in the next line, we'll say L1. This is the list of column headers dynamically we are collecting. We had discussed all this also in our while displaying in the tree view. R for R in record set. This is what I am getting from there. Record set dot keys. So now I have prepared a list with all the column headers. Let me write it here. Column headers. So all the name, class, mark, gender, all this from our student table in particularly I am talking. So there all this list will come. Then I will prepare another list also. I will say that I'll give the same name, record set, but this I will replace it and saying that equal to list. Now I am saying it is R set. So why I am doing this? I could have directly used the record set, because once this line is executed, this is a forward only cursor. This if you see the manual of SQLite, this forward only cursor, because now it will not allow me to move backward. So I will get a blank record set. For that I am just creating a list from here, and that list now it is it's not a record set or a cursor. It is a list now. So this list I will use it to insert my data. So that is the purpose of it. Now let me come back to my error handling part. So up to this fine, record set is my data is created. If there is no error, or if there is an error, then I must display it. So for that I am creating a label L1 equal to tk.label. Now where this will be my parent window, my_w. Now text. What should be the text? The error, whatever variable I am getting from error, here it is in the just above. I'll get that one. So that error is there. Now because it's an error message, so let me give the font color as red or the foreground color as red. because it's a error. So FG red. Now again slightly higher font I am giving, font equal to 16. Slightly higher font I have given, and now I will place it on a grid. L1.grid. Now this is exactly to take the position of the tree view, because there can be either the data is displayed or the error is displayed. So this should be on the tree view. So I am saying row equal to 1 and column equal to 0. Row 0 is where our text widget and the button is there. So there, here I am. So column span equal to 1. I am giving the column span. Slightly pad x I am giving 20, and pad y I am giving 20 also, equal to 20. Now these two are over. Now if you still want to print the error message to the console, you can just write it here, print error. This is not required because we are displaying on the label itself. So you don't want a label, you want in your application itself, you can display it. So that's all. This now, if I'll execute it, I will not get the data, but the query will execute, and if any error message is there, I can display it. Let's just check that part. So I have saved it and running it again. So here it is. Now I will say select star from student. Now what has happened is, let me just okay, let it be. So this what happened, there is no data display. You can see if it is successful. If there is no error, fine, nothing will happen, because else part is we have not written the code, so nothing will be displayed. But let me just see that. Okay, no error message. But if let me create an error here. Now I will say student 1. So this table doesn't exist. So now my except part should execute and display me. You can see here table my tutorial student 1 doesn't exist. This error message has come from MySQL database, and because so far here it is this part, you just watch it, and that part we are displaying it here. Now what you will do is, now we'll write the else part, that is where the key, and we'll display the tree view in this part of it in place of placing the label. That else part will take care. I will paste the code whatever I am going to write in the else part, because that we have already discussed in our displaying 10 records in a tree view. Same thing only, and we have integrated the our scroll bar to that, scroll bar and the style also. So here I am just pasting it here. You can see this is fine. So up to this point you can see here I have started from here, no error, TRB. Now let me, in the else part, let me just bring it here. So tree view, now all the things are, all the details are set. Now this is the scroll bar, but note that I have not added the style here. So let's see this, then we'll see how this works. So I am just placing it here, select star from, I'm not creating any error now, start from student. My student is my table, so this few lines of code it has given you. See, I have not added the style here, so that is why this is the default window style. You can continue with that also. So this is the vertical scroll bar is added. Now what is this code? This two we already, the link whatever we have initially discussed, the same thing. What I am doing it in the else part is first declaring the tree view. So once the tree view, I am placing it in the grid. Note that this grid placement row 1 column 0 is same as the error placement here at the top. Except block we have used that. So either error message will be there or the data will be displayed. So that is the reason. So here it is, our grid. Now what I am doing for I in L1. Now this, what is L1? L1 is here we have whatever we have taken it here, column headers, the list we have created. So that we are using it here to add the columns and the headings also. For I means it will one by one, it will like say ID, name, mark, gender, all those things we are taken, value will be taken in I, and that will be here the width I am controlling given 80. You can match it, you can reduce it or increase it also. So headings I have placed it. Now what I am, this lies the data insertion. You just see when I am inserting the data, that is the reason this R set is a list only, because here we have created that. Here you can just come up, here it is. So this list we are using. That list I am bringing it here, inserting one by one. I am not giving a parent ID to it. I am giving the ID because it's a student record. Every row has a unique ID and the first column has the unique number. So that I am using it as ID. Now what should be, suppose you have a tree view or that ghost column we call it, that what the text will be, so you can expand it. Here it is much relevant here. Then I am just giving the values of it, whatever each row. So here I am looping through one by one record and inserting into creating the tree view. That's all. Then these 3 lines of code adds the vertical scroll bar to the tree view. So here we are taking it that command tree yview means vertical. You want though it is not required here, you can insert a horizontal scroll bar here. So you have in your table, you have multiple columns that you can add that here. So check it here. This is the row 1 and column 1, and this is the scroll bar right of the tree view, and we are using sticks so that north south means entirely it will be stretched whatever the available space vertically available. So that is the layout and the data. Now let's just see if you want to add little bit of style, how we'll do that. Let's move up outside the function. Here it is. I'll just paste a little bit 4 lines of code here. This is the tree view. I am just declaring another font in case you want in a different font, though this dimension is same as font 1 whatever I have declared. Now the theme I am used whatever theme in the style. This is a style configuration. Here I am saying that use the tree view to configure this style. This is the background color black. You want different color, change it. Field background means wherever the field is not there, because every field and some blank space will be left, there you can manage. Foreground color means it is the font color, because I have used the background as black, so foreground I am putting it as white. So font I am saying use the font too, change it whatever size you want at this variable, this list in fact. Then I am just configuring the headings there. Background is powder blue. You can give any color whatever you want. So here these 4 lines, this is optional, these 4 lines, if you don't want to remove this part also. Now this already we have discussed, that's why I am not explaining much here, because that entire tutorial was on that, how to add the styles. Now let's just see what is the style here, how it is coming. I am again giving select star from student. But here is one carrier. You can see here now it is on the black background, and these top colors have also changed. Now here one care you have to take. Suppose you are using it in a production environment or explaining something. Any type of query this system will accept. So I can just write it here, drop table student. Now my student table will go if I'll execute this. Okay, I have a backup, I can restore it again, but this may not, any table I have in the same database, because I have logging in with the user ID and password, so this will damage my database also. So take care, don't use it in a production environment where you don't want some unwanted queries to be executed. So there, otherwise you may lose the data also. Somebody adds it a truncate table means your data will go. And here otherwise if you want to restrict it, at this label user ID and password label, you can, if from MySQL database label, if you remove the drop table access and all, then it will, MySQL database won't accept. But if you are using SQLite, you don't have that flexibility, because SQLite there is no login concept here. So that's the main thing here. I just want to caution you before you start using this sort of script. The entire code is anyway available to you, so you can use that. And I'll request you, please share this with your friends and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you will be notified. And in the next we are going to learn, using this particular platform, we are going to learn different queries, how date queries and all with the student table also. So you will learn about how you will apply, because this gives us a platform to execute our queries. So any type of query we can work on more on the database management side. Thank you. Please share this with your friend, and please once again I'll request you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. And if you have any doubt, suggestion, question, use the comment section below to post it. Thank you for watching.